Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. We are back with Billie Jean, not to be confused with Billie Jean from the Michael Jackson song, which I thought about this weekend. And Billy Giannouloudis is his name. He's a good friend of the show. And of course, he's an amazing life coach, helping so many people to really live their best lives ever. Welcome back, Billy. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate that Billie Jean reference. I can honestly tell you, freshman year of high school, that joke came up a lot because
it did.
resembled.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, good. I'm not the only one, but I was like Billie Jean. I'm like, and I thought about Billie G. It just was like,
Right.
Uncle, good to have you back here. Please introduce yourself and company to everyone.
Of course. What's going on, guys? I'm Billie Giannouloudis with Billie G Life Coaching. I am a motivational speaker and a life coach out of Massachusetts. And guys, life change is the name of the game, and that's exactly what we do here. We help people grow towards their goals, towards their best self, for that matter, with their mind, their body, and their soul, and whatever their goal entails for them. And it's phenomenal. It's incredible every single moment helping people. I'll tell you that much.
Great. Well, exciting to have you here. And I know today we're jam-packed. We're going to talk about success and what brings us into success. And you say that consistency specifically breeds success. Could you explain that a little further?
Of course. Yeah. And that's why I want to talk about that today, because in coaching, but I think any goal any of us set for ourselves, you have to start to make the changes in life. And this happened with a couple of my clients this past week, where they're moving forward momentum. They're going weeks where they're motivated. They're seeing the changes happen. They're seeing the progress in themselves and the progress outside of themselves, which is everything we want. However, with making those changes in life, you tend to hit the new bumps in the road that pop up, or those little moments that kind of knock us down, and we start to think that we're right back at square one. So that's why I want to dive in today, because I feel like anyone listening to right now on the Podcast Business News Network, for that matter, they have a goal set for themselves or grow in some way, but it takes all that habit change, consistency with that, to create the success that they're searching for.
Wow. All right. This is exciting because, yeah, you got to work at something, because not everyone's lucky who just gets what they want by doing it one time and it works out. Sometimes that happens, but the chances are no. So what happens in the brain, the mind of repetitiveness, consistency in a sense?
Yeah, exactly. And you start to, with repetitiveness, with consistency, sticking to the growth that you're seeking, you start to see the results quick. So just like you said, like it happens for some people, but usually it's just like someone losing weight or going to the gym. You tend to see the weight fly off right away, like water loss and everything. But then you get to the deeper matter where I have to be consistent. And then I start seeing the true weight loss or the true muscle growth, for that matter. It's the same thing with the mind. It's the same thing with any goal that we set for ourselves, where say one of my clients sets the intention or sets the goal to honestly just live a more positive lifestyle. And we were doing that for weeks on end, implementing meditation, implementing new ways that they can kind of take time for themselves to see how they've grown so much, how they can be a light to others. And every single week for about 2 months straight, they were coming in, oh my goodness, I'm seeing it. I'm loving this. People are smiling. I'm smiling more. I'm living such this great life. And then all of a sudden this past week, it hit them like a ton of bricks. And they came into session low level, as if we were just right back at square one, focusing on the negativity. So that's why coming into today, talking about this, we got to understand that as much as we see that progress right off the bat and we see it continue on for however long it does, life will then throw a bump in the road towards you. And it's for a reason, to help you see, one, how far you've come, but two, do you really want this? Are you willing to continue the consistency to see this change happen in your life? Do you really want this dream or this goal? And those of us that can stay consistent with that habit, say like, all right, it's getting harder. All right, I'm seeing a little bit of success. Can I keep going if the road gets tougher? Those are usually the people we all tend to look up to later in life, because they never quit on themselves. They never quit on that success that they're seeking. Right?
Wow,
so
that is true. You're right.
Right?
And you say being consistent with ourselves in the process, because that is what refines us.
Right. So to continue on that, just like you said with the mind. Yeah, you go, Jill. You go.
Oh, no. How long does it take to make a habit, to change a habit? I forget that.
I feel like everyone's different, but there's different numbers out there where it takes. I've had people tell me, oh, 21 days, but I think it's more than 21 days of doing something consistently for it to become the norm, part of your process, part of your day. To continue on that bump aspect where that consistency is so key though, especially with the mind, when you're implementing new habits, when you're implementing new changes in your life, yes, you see the progress. However, you're going to start to see those old ways start to pop up here, now, here, wherever it happens. And those, again, are checks to make sure, do you really want this? Because I think anyone that's trying to create a life change, a lifestyle change for that matter, fitness, maybe you're trying to clean your life up and however it looks, you've been implemented to that habit for so long. And however, say you were eating, drinking, or however, I keep sticking on the exercise aspect, but and whatever your life change is, you have this old way of living. And that's where coaching comes into play, where these speaking seminars come into play, where we help people understand the power of creating these new decisions, creating these new changes and implementing them, where your success is just a daily factor at that point. And then, Jill, you always mention when we're on where my energy is very high. I'm smiling like 9% of this podcast.
Yes, true. For those that can't, on the radio that can't see, we see. Yep.
Right. And it's fun to me hearing that, but I can't not think back to how that started, where living a positive lifestyle and everything like that. Like, it's not to say I never did not do that. It's just the more I started pursuing my goals and consistently pursuing what I wanted for myself, that just started implementing. Like, I'm feeling good. Like every single day I'm waking up, I have the same routine with going to the gym, my eating habits and everything. And that for some people seems bland, but at the end of the day, if I'm seeing a result, that's what we're striving for with life change. Whether it's someone overcoming anxiety, someone overcoming depression, weight loss, or relationship factors, these are all changes we're trying to make to become a better self, a better person. And that's the beauty of everything we do with our coaching, where we're helping someone create the best version of themselves. And these habit changes are truly where it comes into play, because if you want to make a change, your entire day is going to change at some point. And that is when you can create the model of that day for how you want to live your life, striving for that success, seeing the results, feeling good, positivity. At that point, you're just enjoying every single moment, and you can't be mad at that.
Very true. You're right. You're right. And yeah, for those that you can't see you that are just on the podcast, you do smile a lot. Were you always this way? Were you always this positive or no? How long has it been that you felt this good, Billy G? You did your coaching, your training with Tony Robbins. Is that when the smile started, when you learned about coaching?
No, honestly, I think the smile started when I was a kid somehow. I don't know what it was, but it's just, I don't want to say it never stopped, because I've been through my struggles. I've been through my moments where life just fell apart. And I don't know what it was about me where I was able to, as much as life was falling apart, I always felt like I had, you can call it a mission, you can call it a purpose, but what I've talked about before on here, where my entire goal is to help people. And I just try and learn different ways to help people. And that's how getting trained by Tony fell in my lap. That's how diving into the mind and spirituality came onto my lap, because I wanted to grow myself so I could help others. And I think that constant striving to help other people and shine, I guess you could say, that light or that love factor in there, it just started to become my daily life. And so when I was going through struggles, I had, I guess, a gift or an ability to take what I was struggling with, put it on the side, help whoever ever needed help. And then I would go back and to say this terminology, I would pick it up again, live out I'd feel that sorrow, feel the pain I was going through, and then just keep going.
Yep.
And then I feel like I have to explain that now. It's just, along the line, I stopped picking up that sorrow and I just started walking and just trying to enjoy every single moment I could, no matter how it came out. And I think at the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to do.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And also to keep talking in regards to the work you do, you work with people one-on-one, you offer courses. Did you want to talk more about the Mindset Mastery course yet, or you still want to talk more about consistency?
Yeah. No, we'll continue on the Mindset Mastery course. I am so happy to announce, as much as we've been talking about the last couple of podcasts, it is now live, and people can go, they can enroll in this course, and they dive so deep into their mind where they're learning how to focus their mind, how to focus their thoughts for that matter, focus their emotions, which we've said before is your energy in motion. And we present this in such a way where people can take whatever goal they have in life, whether that is to overcome anxiety, whether that's a body goal, whether that's an image goal for that matter, or a business goal for that matter. We teach you the foundational tools to help you see how to create that in your life or manifest that in your life. by teaching you how powerful your mind is and your mindset. And it's just I call it the universal tool, as we've spoken before, because it's the greatest tool we have. But when in this course, we teach you how to direct it, learn it, see how personally powerful you are. And then we talked about this in my session prior to me hopping on here. We also teach you different tools like meditation, like journaling, like prayer, to make sure when you leave the course, you have everything you need to draw back to it to be consistent with everything you're trying to create in your life. And again, I've said before, I loved every single second putting this together, but now people can enroll. You can just search on Google, for that matter, Billy's U Life Coaching Mindset Mastery course, and this will pop right up. You can see everything you need. And I can't wait to see all the success stories start to come through, because it's been fun. Yeah.
And now when you go for the sign up for this course, by the way, when do they start? Is there a certain time that you start and go, or is it kind of always recurring?
Always, essentially always recurring, in the sense we made this course where anyone that logs into it, it's all right there for you. You get your entire lesson plan. You can log into lesson 1, go through that, lesson 2, go through that, everything, but it's on your own timetable. And that, in a sense, is we wanted to make sure, there's a lot of people that, with coaching at least, or speaking seminars for that matter, when it's a one-time thing, it's, yes, I need to take this stuff for myself, it's now. But there's a whole lot of other people in the world who they need to take it at their own pace. So we thought, all right, let's put this together where people can take it at their own pace. They can go as fast as they want to do. They can go through all this and start to implement it, or they can take it one moment, one step, one day at a time, for that matter, and use it as they will. And I think that was the best option, because it gives people, truthfully, their personal power to choose how they want to learn this stuff. And however you wrap your mind around it, it's individualized. I think that's the best part about coaching, but also this course.
Awesome. And I love catching up on your clients and their stories. Anything that you want to share from the past week or so that's been happening in your life, their lives?
Yeah, of course. No, I'm loving it. Like I said, I just came from a great session with a client. I'm gonna have a shout out, because he's absolutely killing it. I'm gonna say Kyle right now, and I just told him about you guys, so he's listening. I gotta give Kyle so much credit, because he is stepping forth. He came into sessions where he knows that there's another level to him. He knows that he's living great and everything, but he knows he wants to max out, as he quotes Ed Milet. He wants to max out and left, right? So we sit there and we dive into how this is working. And he came into session today where he's just feeling, it's not that he's feeling it, but he's noticing it now, confidence. Not that he didn't have before, but it's a new level of confidence he's walking. Okay. And so he brings that up, and I go, I got to ask you, is anyone else noticing the change in you? Because oftentimes in coaching, and oftentimes just in our individual lives, we could be making all this progress in whatever area we're stepping in, and we don't notice it, because we oftentimes we put our head down and we're just like, all right, I just got to keep going until I get there, keep going until I get there. But that's why it's called expanding the unit, for that matter, where you pick your head up and you're asking family members, you're asking significant others, or kids for that matter, hey, do you notice anything?
You gotta keep
right. And then they give you their input. And when he brought it that, it's like, oh, actually, it's weird. But he was at a wedding this past weekend, and his girlfriend's friend told him, like, wow, he seems so much more confident. What's been different?
Wow.
Right. And he brushed it off like, oh no, it's just the norm. But I'm sitting there trying, like, I get so motivated off of that to keep going. I get inspired off of that, because someone takes what we talk about, implements it in the next week, and then they see the results. And that is what I love about coaching, where someone realized, hey, I want to change things, I want to level up, let's go to this, let me take a chance on myself, a step of faith on myself, and invest in myself, for that matter. And then to take every piece, to realize how important that is, to use it. That has to be my favorite part of coaching, because when you have a client that's so driven, oh my goodness, one, it makes the job 10 times easier, because we connect on such a new level. But when they realize that they're leveling up just as much, we're just hitting goal after goal after goal. And that's the best part about it. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing. So if he's listening out there, what would you say to him today? How proud you are?
Yeah, I already told him earlier, but it's funny when I tell my clients, like, hey, you're doing it. Like, I'm so glad to see how confident you become, or whatever the success story is. They're like, hey, that means a lot, you saying that, because I know I'm trying, but sometimes I don't get it. And so if Kyle's listening right now, like, hey, keep it going, man, because you've taken every single step and you're seeing the results, and it is just the tip of the iceberg. And I can't wait. And then the beauty of that, just to show people where we take sessions, Kyle's been reading on his own, everything like that. And he brought up how he just read the book, maybe The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I haven't read this yet, but after everything Kyle just told me,
Never
I gotta
heard of it,
go.
but it sounds like a good story. I have a feeling I know what that's
Right?
about. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And he explained to me it's about this lawyer who was living the high life, had all the money, the cars, the image that were shown of the women and everything like that. And then he got to a place where he just didn't have that self piece. It's like he was striving for so long for everything else. And then he decides to just, I'm done. He up and leaves it. And he goes to, I believe, a monastery where he trains with these monks. And he learns this deeper self aspect. So my client Kyle takes hold of that and he goes, I resonate so much with this, where not that he's striving for everything else in life, but he knows there's a deeper part of himself that he wants to get to. So he brought up the question today, like, hey, I know we go over mindset stuff and everything, but can we step into meditation? And I love when a client brings that up, because we have so many tools that come into play to help you understand and grow your mindset, for that matter. But meditation is a foundational factor. And to have someone want to learn that, some clients don't, some people don't step into that, which is totally okay. But when he brought that up and we opened the door, now he's got his own plan with guided meditations to start. It brings you to such a new level of yourself to continue the success and continue this confidence factor. Because at the end of the day, we're in control of everything that we do and everything we put out there. And meditation or prayer, or someone listening right now, in whatever area you go with it, that's how you start to direct that area of your life, which impacts and brings so much more success to every other area of your life. So Kyle, my other clients that step into that area, keep it going, because that's your own personal growth at its finest.
Oh, awesome. Look at that. Wow, look what happened today. I have my children are home because of
Nice.
school. And so he just ran in the room and started moving around my background. Hi, Jack.
Phenomenal.
Um, he's like, I'm like, yes. But it happens, right? It's out of school, and camp doesn't start until 3 more weeks because we're going on vacation. Anyway, so Kyle out there who's watching, listening, so confidence obviously is a big thing to gain that back and to gain confidence. It's amazing. And I mean, give me a tip today. What are some of the things we could be doing to gain confidence?
Honestly, I got to start, as just as everyone thinks the first thing you got to do is take a step for yourself. I always say the first step to confidence is taking a step back for yourself. Because a lot of areas, and this is kind of like another coaching experience, a lot of times we go full bore into our goals, which is phenomenal. I've done that. I did that when I started, because I was just, as I said, I put my head down, I kept going until I realized I had to pick my head up. But to build that confidence, you got to be able to have your head up so you can see everything life's trying to bring in. Because when you have your eyes up and you're realizing, hey, there's a lot of more, there's a lot of great things around me. Or maybe someone listening is into real estate, that's their business or something like that, and they just get an offer. A lot of times when we have our head down and we're trying to just be confident and move forward with motivation and momentum, we don't give ourselves the time to enjoy the success we just had.
Yeah.
But if we can take a step back here today, continue forward, you're one step, take a step back and see everything that you've done for yourself up to this point, everything you've done for your family, everything you've done, and you can just enjoy whatever that answer is. You'll feel better about yourself. You'll feel better about your life. And when you have that energy rolling, it's taking a step in confidence is second nature, because you're more so leading from a place of a greater energy, of a greater joy, for that matter. And we teach this in the course, but those higher levels of emotion, those joy, that love, that confidence factor, peace, for that matter, when you can walk forward in those areas, feeling good about life, feeling good about no matter what the day brings, that is true confidence, where whatever you step into, it's coming to you. And I think that's
Yeah.
the best thing I can say for one step of confidence, take a step back.
I love it. I take 2 steps forward. I take 2 steps back. Awesome. Awesome. So anything else from Kyle or any other client experiences you want to share?
Of course, yeah. We had a client yesterday, a fellow coach that we train and help her continue to strive forward to get her business going, but also continue to help her see different ways she can help her own clients. And a young coach, for that matter, However, again, just kind of like we talked about today, has put her head down. She doesn't necessarily step forward, seeing that all that she's done. And oftentimes with our goals, like my clients do, we want to get there right away. And if it's not there, why? What the heck happened? And we have this image that we want to be top of the mountain instantly. However, anything in life, like these setbacks we talked about earlier with bumps in the road, being consistent.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You got to take that step back to see how far you've come. And it can't get you all the way to the top of the mountain after one step, for that matter, because you might get there, but you'll lose it all because you didn't build up the habits. You didn't build up the consistency. You didn't build up yourself to a person, to a level where you could handle all of it. So in our session yesterday, we were able to dive into that. And as much as when you bring that up as a client in this coaching session, we're there, we're telling you, we're building you up, we're helping you see everything you've done. I have logs of every single session and everything she's grown on. One, the conversation starts the process, but two, I always love to see this where I tell my clients at the end of a session, if it's a really deep session like that, keep your eyes open, because a sign will come through, or a new client will come in, or something will show you you're exactly where you need to be, exactly at the right moment, and everything's going as it should. And so it probably was a half hour after our session, and I get a text message from her, and she says, here's my sign. And it was a graph of what we think success will be like, which is just straight up, and what success actually looks like, which is all the way down, but then it starts to go up. And I think like maybe people have seen that on social media or whatnot as a success little meme, but that's the story of success. And no matter what we do for ourselves, no matter if that's a life coaching goal, no matter if that's overcoming anxiety, no matter if it's a relationship goal, family goal, weight loss goal, success in any form is all over the map. But if we continue the consistency we started this podcast on, you will see that your success, your commitment to yourself, your consistency and your dedication to yourself will lead you to who you're meant to be. And that in itself brings in such a joy that you can walk with, as I do, with a smile on my face 90% of the day. You just start to see the results flow. And that brings a whole different lifestyle. And that life change is enjoying life. And our clients are experiencing that. My client yesterday did, client today did, and we got more clients tonight. But that's our goal with Billy G Life Coaching, is to help you live your best life, to help you experience this life change that you feel you're called to do, with whatever goal, mind, body, your soul, whatever it is. And we help you take those steps forward. And in taking those steps, you get to a place where life is good. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, is just to experience life is good. Just like the old shirts used to say.
That's another song. Life is good today. It's a country song. God, you got me singing songs today.
Right?
Wow.
It's a good thing.
No, it is. Wow. And to someone out there interested in your services, let's talk specifically what else you could do for them.
Of course. Yeah. So they can find me, BillyGLifeCoaching.com, guys. You can go right on there. You can see everything that we bring to the table, but you can set up your own free strategy call. So on that free strategy call, you call in, you set up your own time in our schedule. And from there, you have your goal. You have an understanding. Anyone listening right now has an understanding of one area in their life that they're trying to improve. Self-improvement, personal development, whatever it is. You bring that to the table and we dive into it with you for this strategy call. We help you break down areas that we know can help you, but then it's your opportunity to, if you choose to, sign on with us and we dive deeper into it. So that's an area people can start the process with, or they can continue learning and everything like that. Instagram, go to @BillyGiannouloudis, and we have so many, I guess you say, motivational posts or quotes and everything under the sun to give you that little spark for the day. And then you can go to YouTube once a week with Billy G. That's where we actually talk about this consistency breeds success this past Sunday. And from that point, there's an entire, I don't even know what you want to call it. There's 200 and I think at this point, 83 straight episodes. Every single week we post one on Sunday, and you get to pick one that works for you or what you're going through or what you're sparked for, to help you spark yourself for the week moving forward. And that's the goal. So if anyone wants to learn more, go to our website, go to social media, and we'll be right there for you. But guys, it's just, I'll say this, life change, improving yourself, it's one step away. Whether it's taking a step back and seeing how good your life is, or taking a step forward for yourself and investing in yourself into whatever area that looks like.
Yep. Thank you so much. If we want to reach out to you, give us the website and all forms.
Yep. BillyGLifeCoaching.com, guys. You can set up a free strategy call there. You can find me Instagram @BillyGiannouloudis or Facebook. Type me in. I'll be right there for you. message me with any questions, message me whatever, and I'm going to be in your corner right there for you. And find me on YouTube, comment on a YouTube video. I'll reach out to you. Simple as that. I'll do the hard work.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And on social media?
Yeah, we got Instagram at Billy Giannouloudis, Facebook, Billy G Life Coaching, or Billy Giannouloudis, guys. It's going to be right there.
All right, Billy G, good to talk to you again here. And Kyle, I hope you're listening. Hope you love your coach. Call in next time. Talk to us. I want to hear your experience. Maybe that's a good idea. I would love to hear what he's got to say in person. Not a bad idea.
Calling.
Perfect. We can. Have a great day and looking forward to the next time we speak. Thank you so much, Billy.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.